Could this Paralympian be the first disabled person in space? John McFall didn't grow up dreaming of being an astronaut, but when the European Space Agency called for people with disabilities to apply, he couldn't resist the opportunity. McFall's right leg was amputated above the knee after a motorcycle accident when he was just 19. But that didn't slow him down. In fact, he's considered one of the fastest men in the world with an above-the-knee amputation. He won bronze in the 100-meter sprint at the 2008 Beijing Paralympics, and right now he's competing in Paris. You might recognize McFall as one of the 2 flag bearers from the Paralympics opening ceremonies. But could this Paralympian be the first disabled person to plant a flag in space? I'm Sarah Smay, and this is Space for Humans. As a member of the European Space Agency's 2022 astronaut class, McFall had to complete a lot of really demanding training. The ESA astronaut program challenges its participants to learn how to survive in harsh environments, from wintry mountains to dark caves and choppy seas. But since 2023, McFall has also been participating in a different kind of program, the ESA's Fly Feasibility Study. This study's goal is to test the potential for astronauts with lower limb disabilities, like McFall, to safely operate in space. And that involves a lot of questions. How does a lower limb disability affect astronauts in microgravity? Can McFall use existing exercise equipment on the International Space Station? Because here's the thing, lower limbs aren't really that necessary to move around in the weightless environment of space. But that doesn't mean existing space equipment and procedures are designed to include someone like McFall. As Dr. Stribling talked about in another episode, programs like Astro Access are experimenting with new design solutions to include people with disabilities in space travel, and with great success. But in this case, the study aims to see how well a disabled astronaut could participate in the current space program. So here's the exciting news. So far, they've uncovered no significant barriers to McFall's ability to contribute as a full crew member on a long-term mission to the International Space Station. That's a big deal, but it's just the beginning. McFall hopes these findings will push space programs to include more people with diverse disabilities. In his words, everywhere in the world there are those who could make valuable contributions to human space exploration. And the experience and knowledge of people with physical disabilities can bring new and valuable ideas, different ways of thinking, motivation, inspiration. Space exploration is all about pushing the boundaries of what humanity is capable of, kind of like the Olympics and the Paralympics. We say it a lot on this show, but it's true. Including everyone benefits everyone, whether you're racing to the finish line or racing to Mars. John McFall isn't scheduled for a spaceflight yet, but his work as the first disabled member of an astronaut class is already a great sprint forward for inclusivity in space. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Space for Humans.
Awesome job.
Let's go back to that. Remember to keep your